Good day, Coach Jude. Good day, classmates. My name is Alanisa Salapuddin Bar. My role in this video presentation is to give the overall introduction. Today, we are also to discuss the different factors affecting the individual differences of the children. We are also going to share our insights before the end of the presentation. So, before we start, let's find out what is really individual differences. Individual differences are found in all psychological characteristics, physical, mental abilities, knowledge, habit, personality, and character traits. Now, let's move on to our first reporter.
Individual differences in children. Beyond the gender and physical differences of an individual are students from different socioeconomic strata, students who come from various family configurations, students with special needs, differing interests and abilities, students with different cultural backgrounds, different languages, different learning styles, and different attitudes towards the school. The psychology of individual differences is concerned with the systematic study of intelligence and abilities associated with personality of learner, learning styles and needs and interests of learner. According to Bari Chintumbari, individual differences are the variation we observe among members of any group in a particular characteristic, such as temperament, energy level, friendship patterns, and parent-child attachment. And also, individual differences stand for the variation or deviation among individuals in regard to a single characteristic or a number of characteristics. Also, the child must know that he is a miracle, that since the beginning of the world there hasn't been, and until the end of the world, there will not be another child like him. So, individual differences stand for those differences which in their totality distinguish one individual from another.
Good day, Coach Jude, and good day, classmate. My name is Miss Norjeline S. Baharod. My topic is about types or varieties of individual differences. There are 9 types or varieties of individual differences, which are physical differences, mental difference, differences in motor ability, differences in achievements, emotional differences, differences in interests and aptitudes, differences in self-concept, learning differences, and differences in social and moral development. First, physical differences. Individuals differ in height, weight, color of skin, color of eyes and hair, size of hands and heads, arms, feet, mouth and nose, length of waistline, structure and functioning of internal organs, physical expression, mannerism or speech and walk, and other such native or acquired physical characteristics. Second, mental differences. Individuals differ in intellectual abilities and capacities like reasoning and thinking, power of imagination, creative expression, concentration, and etc. On the basis of these differences, they are usually classified as idiot, imbecile, moron, borderline, normal, very superior, and genius. Third, differences in motor ability. There exist wide differences in motor abilities such as reacting time, speed of action, steadiness, rate of muscular movement, manual dexterity, and resistance to fatigue, etc. Fourth, differences in achievements. Differences exist in achievement and in knowledge, even among individuals who have almost the same amount of intelligence and have been subjected to equal amount of schooling and experiences. Fifth, Emotional differences in some individuals, positive emotions like love, affection, and amusement, and the like, and prominent. Whereas in some negative emotions are more powerful. Some are emotionally stable and mature, while others are emotionally unstable and immature. Differences in interests and aptitudes variation occur among the individuals in relation to the specific tastes and interests. Individuals are also found to have different aptitudes. Some have mechanical aptitude while the others have scholastic, musical, or artistic aptitudes. Differences in self-concept. Self-concept reflects the image's consideration or judgment about one's abilities and limitations usually held by an individual not only projecting himself before others, but also for estimating himself in his own eyes. Low self-image can give rise to low self-esteem. Learning differences. Some learn more easily and are able to make use of their learning more comfortably than others. For some, one method of learning or memorization is more suitable, while the others a different method suits. Differences in social and moral development. Some are found to be adjusted properly in the social situation and lead a happy social life, while others are socially handicapped, unsocial, or antisocial. Similarly, people are found to differ in respect of ethical and moral sense. That's all. So let's move on to two factors affecting individual differences and educational implication of individual differences.
Two factors affecting individual and different educational implications. Heredity, what occurs naturally as a function of our genes. Environment, what is learned and communicated in different cultures or other social groups, includes family, socioeconomic status, culture, previous knowledge, experience, and gender differences. In any group, there are individuals who deviate from the norms of the group. Along with the average, the presence of very superior and extremely dull is equally possible in a class. Every teacher should try to have the desired knowledge of the abilities, capacities, interests, attitudes, aptitudes, and other personality traits of his pupils, and in the light of his knowledge should render individual guidance to children for the maximum utilization of their potentialities. It is wrong to expect uniformity in gaining proficiency or success in a particular field from a group of students on account of their subnormal intelligence, previous background, lack of proper interest, aptitude and attitude, etc. Some students lag behind in one or the other area of the achievement. All students cannot be benefited by a particular method of instruction and a uniform and rigid curriculum.
Good day, fellow classmates. Good day, Coach Jude. My name is Kish Mandang. So my role for this presentation is to discuss the role of the teacher-student in meeting the individual differences. So let's start with our discussion.
The role of teachers, schools, in meeting the individual differences. However, the following suggestion can be helpful for any teacher to meet individual differences. First, proper knowledge of the individual potentialities. The first step in making provision for the individual differences is to know about the abilities, capacities, interests, aptitudes, and other personality traits of individual pupils. For this purpose, help from intelligence tests, cumulative record card, interest inventories, attitude scales, aptitude tests, and measures for assessing personality traits should be taken. Second, ability grouping. In the light of the result derived from various tests for knowing individual differences in terms of individual potentialities in various dimensions, the student in a class or area of activity can be divided into homogeneous groups. Such division can prove beneficial in adjusting instruction to varying individual differences. Third, adjusting the curriculum. The curriculum should be as flexible and differentiated as possible. It should have the provision for a number of diversified courses and co-curricular experiences. It should provide adjustments suiting the local requirements and potentialities of the student in different groups. Fourth, adjusting the method of teaching. Every teacher should be somewhat free to formulate his own plan and strategy and adapt instructional procedure which he finds most suited to the particular types of pupils under him. So, he should try to follow a different procedure or method of instruction suiting the requirements of varying ability groups of his pupils. Fifth, adapting special programs or method for individualizing instruction. The school may also adopt special programs or method of teaching like Dalton Plan, the Winnetka Plan, the project method, or use program learning material for enabling the student to learn their own individual pace. This refers to the age-appropriate behaviors that people and without learning disabilities need to live independently and to function well in daily life. Lastly, other measure of individualizing instruction. The size of the class or section should be as small as possible. The teacher should try to pay individual attention to the group under instruction. The teacher should keep in view the individual differences of his student while engaging them in drill or practice work in classroom or assigning home tasks. In case ability grouping is not possible, and more specifically under the prevalent system of class teaching, special coaching and guidance of program for both the DIAL and gifted children is most helpful. So in this individualized instruction is a method of instruction in which there is one-to-one teaching and self-paced learning based on an outline of progressive goals leading to the course curriculum objectives. Students learn and self-discipline needed to motivate themselves and to keep their progress on target. So let's back in the role of teacher schools in meeting the individual differences. A teacher should be sensitive to individual differences. A teacher challenge is to acknowledge and celebrate the differences among children and work to maximize the growth in each child. The role of the teacher is to observe his/her student and to reveal the individual differences that exist in them and to arrange the learning environment accordingly. The teaching is mechanical and monotonous. They know individually intellect of their student, which helps them to guide them individually according to the mental level of student. Teacher is to help student learn by imparting knowledge to them and by setting up a situation which student can and will learn effectively. Teacher also stated that in order to design the learning teaching process, appropriate to the individual differences of the learners would make active participation in the lesson. So it is important for the teacher to know variables such as physical characteristic, intelligence, perception, gender, ability, learning styles, which are individual differences of the learner.
I therefore conclude that the problem of individual differences can be tackled with multidimensional tasks. As a future educator, we must be aware of students' individual differences in culture, ethnicity, intelligence, language, learning styles, and etc. It is because it may enhance students' understanding or limit their opportunity to learn from the school environment. These factors should be taken in consideration when we plan teaching and learning process in the classroom. So that would be all. Thank you. Hope you like it.